Jalen and Friends Park welcomes you to enjoy the rides. Okay, that was the end of the unscripted section. Now to get ready for the scripted part of all this. Hiya Borkers, I'm Jalen Fulf, and welcome to the finale episode of Planet Coaster, which I like to call Riding the Rides. This episode is presenting a Pardon me for a sec. No, that's much better lighting. This episode is presenting a nighttime ride cam view of every ride in Jalen and Friends Park, which by the time this video goes live is available on the Steam Workshop. The link can be found in the description below this video. The rides will be showcased in the order they were built, whether on or off camera. This means that if during the building process a ride was deleted for relocation or upgrade, it will be shown later in the episode. Now for this one, I'm gonna lay off on talking to let you all enjoy the rides without my interruption. But who knows? Maybe you'll get some insight from me as the rides happen. Anyway, enjoy the rides. First on the agenda is the one Ferris wheel in my park, the Star Wheel, decorated after a good wolf in this fandom by the name of Swodewolf, and honoring his homeland of, and I quote, Swoden. The Swedish flag decorates the front of this very unique style of Ferris wheel, which you are currently riding one of the motion-tracked carriages, which move by gravity as the wheel turns, allowing riders to see the view from the inside of the wheel, while giving a small thrill at some good moments. Many of the flat ride demonstrations, including this one, as well as some of the transport rides, will be presented at 4 times the speed to allow for the shortest possible video for this park. Believe me, even with these edits, this isn't a quick video. If you want to see a specific ride, feel free to skip ahead to a different ride using the timed guide in the description. Also, please ignore any UI pop-ups. There were times where these were unavoidable in RideCam. The white waters of Skip the Wolf's rushing waters await in this log-guided river journey through an elevated forest. After a brief visit, Skip invites you to take a big dive into his basin below in your return from a journey of peace. Van the Raccoon has decided to take his racing prowess into Jalen and Friends. by providing the area with a fun race with your friends through some obstacles and a lighted tunnel. Just don't let the bright lights hit you on the way out. Fun fact, I had to record this one separately from the other ride, since this ride didn't have a test feature, requiring actual guests to show off. Luckily, the racers were well behaved. Well, well, well. I see you've come to make your prayers to the park's lizard god, Psychoma. Just, don't expect to get hit with a big splash when you get back. A hot doggo has decided to bring the flames to the Venetian Carousel of my park. I must warn you, do not, I repeat, do not touch the flames. Malachi Greymane presents Bumper Cars. Team Malachi versus Team Michaela. Which team can ram the other team the most? Will it be yours? Come take a spin in one of the bumper cars and find out. Mama Pika Fox, always protective of her children. now protects over the wonderful faces of Jalen and friends through the means of a hybrid coaster. Come join her on one of her rounds in her part of town. She also won't be afraid to thundershock anyone that tries to harm you. And here's a view from the back of the ride to allow for viewing of electricity. The jungle road may not be an easy road to take. Many dangers await, including treacherous temple rooms and disastrous volcanic basins of lava. Will you be able to survive? For this existing workshop blueprint, see the document linked in the description. Looks like you found Captain Foxy's training quarters. Yes, his training includes making these loops. But it also seems I gotta convince my brother in disguise to keep the rest of his training a secret. This one was too obvious. Oh well, he says to enjoy the ride anyway. Around Jalen and friends, we have the friendliest of dragons around. For example, Zephyr here wants to give riders the feeling of flight. I don't know how he does it, but he has his ways. Echo the Hylian wolf isn't just a Hylian. He's also a wolf with an interest in speed. So much so that he's built himself this speed machine to boost his passion. Come take a ride with him and feel the thrilling rush. Fancy a spot of tea with a lovely Destiny Husky? Forgive me, my attempt at an accent is the worst, and I'd rather find accent training sooner than later. The White Dragon wants your shinies, and will stop at nothing for what she wants. By the way, the person this is for has asked to remain anonymous at this time. Our guests can never feel like a balloon, but why not get inside one? Come have a look inside a balloon Typhlosion, or at least what we think is inside him. Liz has invited you on a sky ride in her temple. Will you come along? I should comment as well that I've tried getting inspiration from the video game Okami, but with limited themes avoiding ThemeMaker's Toolkit, I didn't have a whole lot of options to choose from. Also, I realized I picked a very bad spot on the ride. This seat doesn't show the confetti. The Hellion is a thrill of an underground boomerang that explores an abandoned underground factory for Cuban cigars. Apparently, some of the old workers didn't bother to pick up their garbage, and a smoke scene remains. Hopefully no other surprises await. Jalen and Friends Hotel wasn't just built for show. The hotel offers free-of-charge service to much of the park's many amenities via means of a People Mover shuttle service. We've also included a transfer stop between our other transport services throughout the park, which will be covered later in the video. Here's an example of working around color limits in Planet Coaster. I decorated this grand carousel after the persona of one Fire Tiger Paw. However, was met with color limitations before attempting the rainbow hair. I'm confident that the makeshift wall around half of the carousel makes up for it. For myself, my own anxieties come to haunt me in this escape from madness. Despite spreading a beacon of positivity for my community and everyone I've met in this fandom, I've also had my fair share of anxiety-driven fears, which, though may not be exemplified in this coaster, may be fueled by the fear factor presented throughout the speed-induced hybrid. Pro tip, red lighting doesn't always give a good sign. Another dragon in my park by the name of Tyler Rubian wants to keep you sheltered in his warm embrace. Come accept the warm hug! I'm not the only Fulf in this park. Grey Sunday wanted in on the action and provided a Skyfall to keep the thrills going. But that's not the only Skyfall in the park. Hero Corgi, with his wings of salvation, wanted to do the same, and so the two stand side by side, Hero always giving a bigger thrill than the other. Into the underground once again, as this time Swizzle Griffon is taking you through one of his very rare homes. Based around the real-world design of Griffon, located in Busch Gardens, Virginia, our winged friend will assist your flight around his home caverns. For this existing workshop blueprint, see the document linked in the description. Firecat brings the fire power. In this ride similar to the real-world Haas Topspin, Fire is a chef himself, not afraid to use blue flame to assist in his culinary confectionaries. Bon appetit? Or rather, enjoy the ride. So it seems my snow leopard friend, Darius, has decided to build a bobsled on the grounds of his snow lodge. Would you like to help him test the ropes? Easel's Iron Claw is massive. I'm surprised he was able to fit all those guests on one paw, let alone give them something dizzying. An experiment gone wrong has left Void the microscopic Wolf transformed into a mouse. With seemingly no way back to normal, she's left to scurry around her new home, leaving her dizzy in some places. Come ride while you feel for her pain.
Sato tenina mimo seisavo.
For this existing workshop blueprint, see the document linked in the description.
Afu in Sato tenina memo seisavo.
Journey through the jungle into Forbidden Temple ruins for some exciting surprises. Will you come out of this temple adventure alive, or get wet trying? first sentence in my opening speech for this ride comes from the original workshop blueprint's description. If you want this design for yourself, come see the document in this video's description. The white waters of the jungle aren't as inviting as you would otherwise think. Come take a ride on the Jungle Drift, and hopefully the thrills await you. For this existing workshop blueprint, see the document linked in the description. This wooden coaster was one of the first rides I built in this park, and I had hoped it would turn out magnificent. Since then, the coaster, now decorated for one Tommy Wolf, has gotten a car change from the monster to Zephyrus, and honors the friendly guests of Jalen and Friends. If you look closely from the outside, even Tommy wants to greet everyone with a friendly howl. Ow! Five Nights at Freddy's, property of Scott Cawthon, has become a huge cult classic that even some fluffballs wanted their own sonas out of them. My other brother Foxy and the Pika Fox pack is no exception. But just how many copies of them exactly do we need to make this spinner work? Ever want to see a Riolu try and perfect an Aura Sphere? Or rather, would you like to see what happens when you get too close to one, even remotely trying? I won't blame you if you get dizzy from Riley's recent attempt. Aethon Wolf, another Sona courtesy of Malachi Greymane, has gained a bird form and wishes for his patrons to climb aboard and take a flight with him. As he spreads his wings, you might not want to look down. Immortal the Snow Fox wanted a pair of swings, and a pair of swings was what they built here for you. Don't get too cold in the midst of the back and forth motion. I'm going to present this power move spinning ride at normal speed compared to the others. This one is the Frontier design decorated with YCH colors to honor you, the fuzzy faces I never got to include in this massive theme park. Just try to imagine your colors here in place of the placeholder.
Sariate, Border de Salo e Bounty. Maybe Mel shout, maybe Mel sub. Tu nu fai da e tu 11. Lisu Galashon, Lisu Galamé, Netu Yapate, Shuki Pubak, here gonna sheep, here gonna door, but the leap at Persia saw. Muzo o Sunsi, tutto sopra, Jalene, Tuali, Trape Covella, Tapao Alto, Bacoli su, Ora Vazzeni Show. Io pela boost, io pela red, vale Valdu, va Savaluzet, Vassay on the night, Vassay on the dawn, Tono Bella alla Fasson. Tumula Adel, Seo Bada, Tun Azi Ibel, Ome Temu Gods, Ome Temu One, Fuya Bala, Eba, Ebetan, Yoda Menia, Yoda Gagaboon, Toleramo, Iduna Tasu, Vana Villani, Vana Villanu, Kiasiba Melala. My one, Isariate, Border de Salo e Bounty. Maybe Mel shout, maybe Mel sub. Tu nu fai da e tu 11. Lisu Galashon, Lisu Galamé, Netu Yapate, Shuki Pubak, here gonna sheep, here gonna door, but the leap at Persia saw.
Another Void Alcantara character, Ziggy Coyote, has decided to open up a coffee shop. However, something went wrong, and her shop is one gigantic coffee mug in her friend Void's colors. Luckily, she has an interactive advertisement for the shop that demonstrates her style of making it. Street Fox probably didn't even think of this. Ever wanted to ride a cupcake? Well, Sly Fox Lover has you covered with this one. Inspired by similar carnival rides, a corkscrew by the name of Swift decided to bring a bit of dizzy flavor into the park. And to make it more exciting, the cars actually drift. You could say they're Swift drifters. Step aside, Pipshot. Slushy Wolf wants to give you a very big slushy. Just step aside while he makes it for you. Rise high above the jungle with Mocha, a good friend of Mama Pika Fox. Seems he's come up with a contraption to give you that bird's eye you've always wanted. And let's just say King Coaster wanted in on it too. Come get dizzy and go yuck with a birthday bunny, our friendly furry Goofy. Not a newt, by the way. Inspired by the ride of the same name at Disneyland Hong Kong, Mystic Manor tells the story of the one Lord Henry Mystic and his monkey Albert. After opening an enchanted box, Albert has brought the creatures inside the manor to life. Come take a peek! As you leave the manor, the sarcastic tombstones of Tall Werewolf and Fluffy Green Kiwi greet you. If you want this ride for yourself, the document with the link is in the description. He may still be a work-in-progress character of mine, but Berlioz didn't want to hesitate to leave a helping paw behind. Let him and his multicolored beans give you the sights of the park. Come hang 10 on this flip-tastic 80s styled ride with nibbles, fiddles, Kibbles the Husky. Erie Elevation. A spooky elevator in a building where zombies have invaded the premises. Or rather, maybe an experiment went wrong and now the place is infested with the undead. Why don't you find out what happened? Here's another recreation, this time of a design popularized during the traveling coaster days of Anton Schwarzkopf. One of two such recreations in my park, the Alpina Bahn, repainted for my blue friend Delta Husky, somehow brings a lot more thrills to the Planko civilians. Not a surprise given this is the second largest traveling coaster all time. For this existing workshop blueprint, see the document linked in the description. Yet another recreation, this one of Corkscrew at Alton Towers. This one I decided to honor Redo the Husky, my one Twitch moderator that has a very big obsession with bullying me. Only because I remember him visiting the park one time and needed something to honor him. I'll let the Husky himself give a proper description of this one in the comments if he chooses. For this existing workshop blueprint, see the document linked in the description. I had another try at getting a high score at Gunslinger, this park's interactive gun shooter. Take a look. Now come download the workshop blueprint in the description and see if you can do any better. Two fluff balls in tandem, a cat and a dragon. Come ride the symbolism of their friendship, courtesy of another of my Twitch moderators, Xylanth. No words for Mango Tail's ride. Only zoomies. And now for a proper driver's seat tour of the park, courtesy of our monorail. They may not say much, but you'll be glad to have gone from here to there in a jiffy. Oops, didn't mean to leave a tree on the track. We're at the home stretch, so let's get hype with another Anton Schwarzkopf traveling coaster design. This one from my streaming bud, Nocturne the Wolf, who also goes by Sage the Protogen. This one recolors the triple looping design, set to re-debut in Indiana Beach as American Dreyer looping at some point in the future. For this existing workshop blueprint, see the document linked in the description.
This is your captain speaking on board the LV-621 presumer. We are ready for takeoff.
Welcome to the iced hotel atop the mountain. Well, I say welcome. Try not to slip and fall on your way into the entry with all that clear ice around. The intro to this ride comes from the workshop blueprint. If you want it, see the document linked in the description. Helix Liger and I both have a passion for Planet Coaster. I give the fun fact that this is a ride he actually rode in a previous park, which is what inspired the both of us to go forward with this plan, to include a fellow Planko creator in this park. For this one I say don't hurl. Well, I would say that, and that's especially what Blitzwolf would say for his Arctic contraption, but he seems to have lost control of this one. Gaming Wolfox wants to give you a lift, but she doesn't have the steadiest of paws here. She'll try, even if it takes her 2 times to do it. Lineru Husky has thought about the feeling of flight here. You might want to come along for his first try, accompanied by the sounds of the Valkyries. Yeah, that's Flight of the Valkyries at 4 times speed. And now for the moment you have all been waiting for. I have finally brought back the gondola for those that had enjoyed me building it in part 12 of this series. It's not in the same place or track orientation as before, but that's okay. And for those that felt like something was missing, I say this. You can't have a proper chairlift without a working drivetrain to keep the cars moving along the ropes. And those are all the rides in the final workshop version of Jalen and Friends Park. I had a blast making this park from start to finish, and to get some amazing furry faces decorated onto the rides was a joy to have, especially given that I could only fit a small amount of people to begin with. With that said, if you own this game and would like to download this park, the link to the park on the Steam Workshop can be found in the description below. Several rides I built on my own in this video are also set to become independent blueprints for use in your own parks, and though not branded like these rides, will be available at later dates. This was a great series to close out the Let's Play portion of this channel. At the moment, I am finalizing my departure from YouTube, however I can't leave without making one very big project. Those of you that have been around since my beginnings in 2007 will know I started out with a game called Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. There's a particular pre-made ride in that game that has left me not able to sleep at night, sarcastically speaking, and I want to cover this particular ride before it's all over. It'll be a great way to close out the YouTube channel with the very game that started it all. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and if you like what you saw, leave a like, post your comments, hit subscribe to the notification bell, share this video with your friends, go follow me over on Twitch, I'll be there from that point on, and as always, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Until next time,